From Hawk's tragic backstory being inspired by a popular real-life football player, to this wild secret hidden behind Mount Lady's design, here are 21 of the crazy secrets you probably never knew about the heroes in My Hero Academia. And believe me, some of them are gonna blow your mind. Have you ever wondered what UA in the Hero Academy High School actually stands for? While you might think it's a reference to Umbrella Academy, it turns out that in English, UA doesn't really mean anything. However, in Japanese, it's a whole different story. See, the school's name is written as UA, and when you shuffle it around, you get AU, which is the Japanese word for hero, which is a super cool secret. But an even cooler secret is revealed in the second My Hero Academia movie, Heroes Rising. In one of the scenes, there's a pro hero who makes a brief appearance, and if you're paying attention, you might have noticed something oddly familiar. That hero is named Godzilla, which is a clear nod to Godzilla. I mean, the resemblance is almost impossible to miss. The design, the vibe, everything about him looks nearly identical to the infamous King of Monsters. And even the names, Godzilla, just one letter off. Turns out the studio behind the movie, Studio Bones, worked with Toho, the company that owns Godzilla. And speaking of studios, we have to talk about the time Marvel Studios actually teamed up with the My Hero Academia heroes. Yeah, this really happened. Back in 2018, during the hype for Avengers Infinity War in Japan, Marvel and MHA dropped a surprise collab. They released a crossover poster and a super wholesome promo video where Deku talks about Captain America, comparing their journeys. Both of them started off weak, got bullied, faced serious challenges, but never gave up, and kept pushing forward to protect others. While most heroes in My Hero Academia have a bit of a mystery to them, Aoyama is on a whole different level. There are multiple moments where he straight up breaks the fourth wall, like literally stares through the screen like he can see you or something. He's so bizarre and unpredictable that even the creator, Horikoshi, admitted he doesn't fully understand what makes Aoyama tick. But honestly, he doesn't mind, because Aoyama is just that fun to draw. While almost every hero is drawn and illustrated by Horikoshi, you'll be shocked to know that the two pro heroes were actually created by fans who won a contest. Bubble Girl, for example, started as a 16-year-old student designed by Abara Chita, but was later aged up and turned into a pro hero. As for Centipeter, that design came from Ohara Tetsuya. It's Horikoshi's way of showing that even the fans have a hand in shaping the MHA universe, which is super cool. During the early planning of My Hero Academia, Endeavor was originally meant to be a teacher at UA. Horikoshi ended up scrapping that idea. The students had both the number 1 hero, All Might, and the number 2 hero, Endeavor, on their side. With that kind of power backing them, facing villains would have been way too easy. Let's be honest, Endeavor probably wouldn't have liked the idea of being a teacher anyway. Moving on to a much cooler secret. Did you know that Koyoko Jiro's hair has an intentional quirk-related design? The highlights in her hair actually resemble ECG waves, the electrical signals that show heart rhythm. Pretty fitting, right? Her quirk, earphone jack, lets her channel and amplify her heartbeat into powerful sound waves. What makes this secret even crazier is something Horikoshi revealed in an interview. He came up with her quirk years before he even started My Hero Academia. In fact, it was the very first quirk he ever created. Did you know that Hawk's backstory was actually inspired by the real-life journey of football legend Lionel Messi? Yeah, no joke. When Messi was a kid, he got scouted by FC Barcelona. At the time, his family couldn't afford the medical treatment he needed. The club agreed to help, but only under one condition. He had to move to Spain and dedicate himself entirely to football. During the 2018 World Cup, the story caught Horikoshi's attention, and he couldn't shake it, so he gave it a twist. Instead of a hopeful sports dream, he flipped the tone, turning the other side into something colder and more controlling. That spark of inspiration eventually evolved into the complex and emotional origin story of Hawks that we know today. But Hawks isn't the only hero with roots in the real world. Mirko's got a surprise connection to the world of martial arts. According to an omake in Volume 20, her hero name has a special origin. It's actually a nod to Mirko Krop Kop Filipovic. He's a legendary MMA fighter from Croatia, known for one thing, his absolutely devastating left high kick. His kicks were so lethal, they came with their own slogan, right leg hospital, left leg cemetery. And if you've seen Mirko in action, that checks out perfectly. Her entire fighting style is built around raw leg power and explosive kicks, so it's no wonder Horikoshi gave her a name that kicks just as hard. While you'd probably expect Horikoshi's favorite hero to be someone like All Might or even Endeavor, turns out that's not the case at all. According to Betancourt, the illustrator for My Hero Academia of Vigilantes, Fat Gum is actually one of Horikoshi's personal favorite heroes. I bet you didn't know this about Kaminari's quirk. If you pay close attention to the finger pose he makes whenever he fires it up, yeah, that's not just some cool anime flair. Turns out, it actually has a hidden meaning. After doing some research, I realized he's using the left-hand rule of electromagnetism. It's a real physics principle where your thumb, index, and middle fingers represent the direction of current, magnetic field, and force. Before Horikoshi came up with Mount Lady as a character, he actually came up with her quirk and the design first, with the original plan being to give them to Ochako. But a gigantification quirk on a main character would have caused all kinds of complications, so he scrapped the idea. Instead, he saved it for a side character who pops in occasionally. In My Hero Academia, there are tons of Star Wars references, and that's no accident. Horikoshi once stated that he's a massive Star Wars fan, so if something feels like a reference, chances are it probably is. One of the most direct shoutouts has to be Gran Torino. His design and mentor role were actually inspired by Yoda. From the tiny stature to the way he trains heroes in remote spots, it's no wonder Star Wars fans instantly picked up the Dagobah vibes. But Gran Torino wasn't the only hero inspired by Star Wars. Horikoshi's love for the franchise runs deep, and if you're paying attention, the nods are everywhere. Take Meteor for example. Did you know one of his moves is literally a Star Wars reference? His technique, Phantom Menace, lets him phase through surfaces at high speeds to deliver pinpoint strikes. If that name rings a bell, it should. It shares its name with a 1999 Star Wars film. But Phantom Menace is just one of many Star Wars references hidden through the series. Kiyoshi Ward Shopping Mall is a nod to Kashyyyk, home of the Wookiees or Dagobah Municipal Beach Park where Izuku trained. It's named after Dagobah, the planet where Yoda trained Luke Skywalker. Even the fictional city, Musutafu, takes inspiration from Mustafar, Darth Vader's fiery stronghold, which is super cool. But an even cooler secret is hidden all the way back in the very first chapter of the My Hero Academia manga. If you look closely at one specific panel, you'll spot the silhouettes of some legendary heroes. We're talking Spider-Man, Superman, Ultraman, Kamen Rider, Moonlight Mask, and more. It's a subtle tribute to the icons that helped shape the superhero genre. Before we talk about the next hero, if you're having a great time so far and want to be entered in our shoutout giveaway, simply subscribe, then comment I subbed, and you'll be entered. This shoutout giveaway goes to @SebaMohammed-I1W. Thanks for being a part of the family. Let's get back to a fun secret. Now let's talk about the ever-sleepy capture scarf wielding pro hero Eraserhead. Did you know Aizawa wasn't originally meant to be Class 1A's homeroom teacher? According to a spin-off manga, the role was supposed to go to Midnight. She was actually the one who encouraged Aizawa to take on the job. Another cool detail is that his hero name, Eraserhead, wasn't something he came up with himself. It was actually given to him by his old classmate and loudest friend, Hizashi Yamada, aka Present Mike. We gotta talk about the #1 hero and my personal favorite, All Might. His name, Toshinori Yagi, actually has some hidden Easter eggs. For example, Toshi means genius in Japanese. Nori translates to law. Ya stands for the number 8, and Gi means tree. Put that all together and it's almost too perfect. He's a genius when it comes to being a hero. He's dedicated to upholding justice and just so happens to be the 8th user of One for All. While the tree part might seem random, All Might is actually a big fan of nature. Deku is actually broke. You'd think a hero like him would be making bank from all those heroic saves, but that couldn't be further from the truth. He's often seen wearing the same t-shirts, just with random words slapped on them. Different words, same t-shirts. That's budget hero fashion right there. Here's a wild detail most people missed. Every named user of One for All actually has a number hidden in their name that matches their place in the chain. Daigoro Banjo, the 5th user, has a kanji that means 5. Nana Shimura. Nana is literally a homophone for 7. Toshinori Yagi, the 8th, carries the kanji for 8 in his surname. Izuku's name subtly connects to 9, marking him as the 9th user. And Bakugo, who briefly held One for All in Heroes Rising, has a kanji tied to 10. Before My Hero Academia, Horikoshi worked on a short-lived series called Omagadoki Zoo. While it didn't stick, he didn't let the characters go to waste. He later reimagined a few of them as pro-heroes in MHA, Gang Orca, Uwabami, and Shishiro. And in Uwabami's case, that zoo origin isn't just a fun fact, it's actually referenced in My Hero Academia, The Strongest Hero, where a rumor claims she used to live in a zoo. Those are some crazy secrets, but if you want to see something even crazier, then check out this video where I revealed 25 of the craziest Easter eggs you probably missed in My Hero Academia. Go on, click it!